What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B Hot Radio Shout, and as always, I got my podcast partner off in this thing, OG Gangsta Wicked, aka Big Galaxy of Ghetto Mafia.
Man, you need to turn the AC down in this thing here, man.
Hey, man, we just got to be glad we got some AC in this thing.
I should have worn my coat, my bomber up in here, man.
Oh, the triple fat goose.
Yeah, hey, we Trey Young up in this today.
Ice Train, the gang. But yeah, Wicked's looking like we got some fresh news off the press. You know, we've been following the Diddy trial, okay? Now, here's what's going on. You know, the jury's verdict has been delivered on the third day of deliberations, and they declared Sean Diddy Combs not guilty of 1 count of racketeering, conspiracy, and 2 counts of sex trafficking by force. So that's not guilty on the RICO and not guilty on both of the counts of sex trafficking, fraud, or coercion, but guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. And at sentencing, the prostitution transportation charge carries as much as 10 years in prison. However, the real heavy charges that could have put him away for life, he was able to dodge those charges, and it's looking like, you know, he might not be in prison. Well, he damn sure ain't doing life, I can tell you that.
Correct.
What are your thoughts on it all?
This is exactly what I thought would happen. Yesterday, you and I talked about this, and don't lie for me.
Yeah.
I told you yesterday when they came back and said that he was guilty, well, he wasn't guilty. They said that they had a partial verdict on 4 charges. Yeah. Remember yesterday they said that. And I talked to you on the phone.
Yeah.
And everybody was saying, well, he's guilty on those 4 charges, and they're just trying to weigh whether they're gonna give him the RICO.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But everybody was saying he was cooked.
Yeah.
And I told you, Beehive, I said, I only think that they're going to convict him of 2 of those 4 charges.
Yeah.
Well, I told everybody to pump the brakes.
Yeah.
I didn't get to get it out in time.
Yeah.
Because this just broke time I got here.
Yeah.
But this was what I came prepared to say about the partial verdict yesterday.
Exactly.
That everybody slowly roll. I only think that he's going to get now. I thought that the 2 that he was going to get convicted on would both pertain Cassie, and they would throw out the Jane.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Both on that. But what they did is they gave each one, you know what I'm saying, a coercion.
The Mann Act.
Well, the Mann Act.
Yeah, the
Mann Act
transportation for prostitution.
For prostitution. Okay, now, with that out the way, I think that's exactly what he's supposed to get. I don't sit here today condoning Puffy or happy about it or sad about it. What I am happy about is I feel like this is one of the first times that the law got it right. That it actually worked like it was supposed to.
Yeah.
I don't feel like he didn't do anything to where he should have just walked out there, doing the Tupac, but I didn't feel like that he also deserves a life in prison, a RICO Act, because of like I was telling you last time I was here, Cassie was doing freak offs herself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They were putting together their own freak offs. There were times where she called Puff and invited him to a freak off. How can you give a man a racketeering charge when a person was putting it together themselves and inviting him to freak offs?
Yeah.
So, but a lot of women, they was upset about the fact that they saw that video.
Yeah.
That video, it resonated with our females.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They have been, beaten and suppressed and oppressed. And so seeing that video right there, a lot of females wouldn't hear nothing. A lot of guys wouldn't hear nothing.
Yeah.
They was like, nah, we saw it. It looked like she was trying to leave her freak off, and he was beating the brakes off her and making her stay. And that's all we saw. And that's all they heard and all they fixated on, a lot of people.
Yeah.
So when you told them Cassie was doing these freak offs herself and orchestrating a lot of this stuff, since you didn't see the visual, it didn't feel the same as when you saw the tape.
Yeah.
Seeing is believing.
Yeah.
When you see it, it hits a lot different than I can come tell you, hey, B-High, you know what I'm saying? She was doing a freak off too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, was she really? You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, she was slap Puff. You ever seen a relationship when there's a man or a woman. I have seen a lot of them. I have friends that have been in, male friends and female friends that have been in toxic relationships.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it always looks like the man that, you see him from a distance, he don't grab them yoked up. At the party, you gonna get stuck with, blah, blah, blah. And like, he tripping. He's abusive to her. And I don't have to step in sometimes and say, y'all don't know Shantae, boy. Y'all don't know Tina. Y'all don't know whoever. These ain't the real names. But I'm saying y'all don't know her. This girl right here done cut the man 3 times. He come in 10 minutes late and without the paycheck, she done went upside his head with a frying pan. Bye. Yeah, maybe he should have left, but you're not dealing with somebody. You're dealing with 2 toxic people, and it's hard to wrap your head around it. It's 2 toxic people. A lot of times we always want to try to identify the one toxic person. It was just him. Now it takes 2 to tango. Yeah. And I felt that from the beginning of this trial that Cassie and Puffy were an item. 2 made 1.
Yeah.
That's how I felt about it. Not that it was him and he drug into all this, how they was trying to portray it. So I think they got it right, Beehive, with not giving him the RICO Act, with what exactly what happened with him. Now, with that being said, Diddy got to tighten it up now. They could. It's still federal. So they could run. Each charge carries 10 years, so they can run that. Concurrent. Just a 1 10-year. You know what I'm saying, or they can do 20 years. It's a possibility that he could get any time up in there, or they could just let him out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, and put the rest on probation. We saw kind of how they did with Thug, even though it was state.
Yeah.
They put it on the back end. You know what I'm saying. So I think right now, he definitely dodged the bullet. I think this is a lesson to all of our brothers out here. We got to watch what we say. We got to watch what we do. We got to watch how we move from now on. Yeah, he dodged the bullet, but if any man is waking up now cheering or thinking that that we don't beat the system. No, we haven't. What this is just the first round. Laws are gonna get modified even more now. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna get tightened down. And we got to now look at ourselves in the mirror and say, you know what? The playtime is over. How we have treated women over hundreds and hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? It has to change right now.
Yeah.
Because the court, these women, 1, ain't having it no more.
Yeah.
And 2, the law is behind them and saying we are recognizing you as a victim, but in this case right here, we feel like you was complicit in this entire situation.
Hey man, I mean, to be honest with you, Wick, watching this whole trial, I know myself, I was thinking to myself, they bet not give Diddy no damn RICO. Right. Because that would have been too much for everybody. It would have been a lot of angry people out here right now if Diddy would have gotten hit with a RICO. The jury deliberating 3 days to come up with those 2 charges. That means somebody in that jury pool might have been like, he ain't guilty of none of this.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying? They might have had to fight to just get those 2 charges that they did get, because there might have been somebody in there saying, no, let the man go home. We saw the tapes.
Correct.
And it didn't look like nothing wrong was going on in them tapes from what we saw. So, it's still a gray area in it all to where he might not have been guilty of nothing to somebody in that jury pool, but they had to, give up something just to be able to get out by the 4th of July. Because, see, that was the other part, too. By the time the 4th of July came, they had to, them folks, they weren't trying to sit in there over no weekend. You got a 4-day holiday. They thinking about barbecuing, chilling, and grilling. And they like, the last thing I want to do is be worried about this damn case over the 4th of July. This would be perfect for me to leave here, go kick it with the fam, and get back to norm after the 4th of July. So, I was glad that, they gave him a fast judgment. 3 days still wasn't that bad, but it lets you know that folks was in there fighting and arguing over what was going on.
Correct.
And it could have been the other way. Somebody might have wanted them to be guilty on all the charges.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
But, what they came out with, I don't think that this was just bad. His life ain't thrown away.
Correct.
And we'll see what happens with the sentencing. Hopefully, he gets something that's similar to what Thug got. Maybe they might just say, hey, man, you done did your time, because he has been in prison the whole doggone time.
Correct.
So, hopefully he'll be able to come out and get back to what he does. And, I mean, we could just get back to the culture, being the culture again. Now, how do you think that this is going to impact Diddy following all of this?
Well. Before I even answer that, I wanted to answer how I feel like this impact is going to impact men and women. The culture itself. This Beehive, had they given this man the racketeering charge, do you know how many guys and females that now everybody could raise their hand? I'm looking right in the camera when I tell y'all this. Had they given this man racketeering for what we all, now I ain't gonna say we all, I don't want to say all, what a lot of us thought was two people engaging in consensual BS. You know what I'm saying? The swingers lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it get a little rough.
It gets crazy.
It gets crazy. You understand what I'm saying? So, but we still, a lot of us still thought that. So had they given him the RICO, now everybody had to start looking, in their past. Damn, did I? That time when, can this person come back from, 15 years now and say that, remember we was at that party that time and we got drunk and I woke up with two women in the bed. Did I make them wind up being in bed with me? Was I? You understand what I'm saying? So that would open up Pandora's box. For on both sides of the aisle of blaming somebody else for acts that you engaged in. So that there, I'm glad that on just the RICO that he wasn't convicted of that. But I do feel like that they got it right that he he was flying women in for, and he knew what he was flying them in for. Hey baby, you gonna come bust it open? You know what I'm saying? And they got him on that. You know, so niggas stop flying women in and bust it open. You know what time it is? You can't do it no more. Get your girl from the state, man. They already live next door. What happens to the girls next door?
You gotta keep it local. And not local. You see what I'm saying?
I can only mess with Georgia peaches. You can only mess with the big apples. God. Can't be trying to get a peach.
See that?
Can't get a peach.
Y'all hit them comments, man. Let us know how y'all feel about the verdict in this Diddy trial right here, man. I mean, how has it changed the game? How will it impact Diddy? And how did you think it was going to impact Diddy?
It went exactly how I thought it would
moving forward.
Moving forward, I think that I don't know because I don't know Diddy, but hopefully he'll come out and we in jail Beehive. We always say I don't sit down at Rice Street. I don't sit DeKalb County, Gwinnett County. I don't sit at all of them. Cobb County, come on, black boy. I don't been there. And every time I was in there, I always said, you know what? When I get out, I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna stop my ways. I'm gonna blah blah blah. Give me 2 months out in the streets again with knuckleheads like you hating and shit, and I go back to toe that iron. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what I'm saying? With you only 2 weeks. 2 weeks I'm back toe that iron. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, he's been reading the books at court every day and how to be a better man and all this. And there was a lot of people that prayed for him. Anytime that we get out of these situations, we didn't make it out of there on our own. We make it out from praying mothers and grandparents and kids and hopefully he'll respect those people.
I think he does because those folks showed up for him at court too as well. I mean, they held him down like a family should.
And when you get out, the last time, like I said, that I was in jail, when nothing this serious, and I look back, I say this all the time, and I look back, what really made me on this last run, I think that was maybe 2010, 2011, looking back, seeing my mama, my Uncle Charles, grandmama, they drove my grandmama out.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Grandma 90-some years old. The kids, the aunties, and I look back and saw the whole Barber clan death. In solidarity. And at that moment in my life, I said, this time when I get out, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna tote that iron and go cross Beehive head with it. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, Barbers, I hope I've been doing good too, and Puffy needs to do the same.
Y'all heard them. Get down with the movement. Hit the comments. Let us know how you feel, and we'll be right back with you in a minute. Beehive Radio shouted, Big Galaxy. We gone.